What is it? Let's see. Can you guess what it is before we look at a label? Pillow-like look to it. It reminds me of the Hoya viola. It does have these silver-like leaves. That's not a name that I hear very often. Lemon top? Welcome to my monthly trip to Hemans. This is usually not my favorite time of year to come to nurseries because they tend to focus a lot more on their outdoor supply than their indoor supply. But let's see, we're sort of winding down now when it comes to the season for outdoor stock. So let's see what they've got in stock these days. So let's start here at Pothos. I know we usually start at Hoya, but we're going to do something a little different today. Over here, they've got the premium jade Pothos. These are for $14.99. And then right next to it is the Pothos and Joy. I always find these two Pothos hard to tell apart. So here's the Jade, Pearls and Jade. I think that one is usually called, and then the Pothos and Joy. I've heard many different theories of how to describe the differences, but I'm no good at being able to tell the two. And then lower down, they've got the Golden Pothos. These are for $9.99. The Golden Pothos is like probably one of the most popular pothos that exists because of the golden variegation, and pothos on a whole propagates very easily, and so yeah, pretty resilient, pretty easy plant. I do find the variegation will revert quite quickly if you're not giving it enough light, so you'd want to make sure that you're doing that. So all the plants that we looked at just now are in 4-inch pots, and then to the left of them you'll have a little bit of the bigger sizes, so the same plants but in bigger, fuller pots. There's the thing with pothos, I don't feel like you need to buy a big one because they propagate so easily, but if you're just looking to have your plant, you just want a big plant as soon as possible, you probably just want to start with a bigger plant. But yeah, this is nice. I'm not a big fan of how the Pearls and Jade grows. Not a huge fan. I just find the leaves get stuck as they unfurl, and they're a little bit tricky. I do find they're a little tricky. But anyways, these 6-inch pots are for $20. Okay, so they've got some more down here, the same 6-inch pots. And then they've got the Marble Queen Pothos, one of the first kinds I ever got. Love the Marble Queen. I find it doesn't revert as quickly as the Neon Pothos. Of course, there's a different type of variegation. The Marble Queen has a white variegation, and the Golden Pothos is what I meant to refer to, has like more of a yellowy variegation. Anyways, the Marble Queen is for $17.99. It's in a 6-inch pot, so a little bit lower than the Pearls and Jade. Yeah. And then over here is the Neon Pothos. This is for $9.99. And then they've got the Jade Pothos, which just looks like an all green pothos. This is for $9.99. Then they've got an overflow down here. I loved having Marble Queen pothos. I mean, technically I do have one. It's just far from what it used to be. So it feels like I don't have one before anymore. But yeah, it's it's a solid plant. And as much as the Neon Pothos needs bright light to thrive, it definitely does bleach if you give it too much light. And it sounds weird to say that it bleaches since it's already so bleached looking, but it does look a little bit faded. The camera is making the colors look way better than they really are, but if you look down there, these are a little bit lighter colored, so you don't want to give them too much light. And then over here they've got the Lemon Top Pothos. So that's not a name that I hear very often. Lemon Top? I don't hear that one very often. It has like a sort of like a marbled type yellow variegation, green on green. That's interesting. It reminds me of the Manjula Pothos, but like with less white variegation, more of a yellowy, greenish variegation. I've never heard of that one before. That one was for $29.99. Okay, and over here they've got the Scindapsus. Oh, look at the huge leaves of the Marble Queen Pothos. Not Marble Queen, the Golden Pothos down in here. So here they've got the Scindapsus. So not a genus that they get like a lot of stock of very often. This is the Jade Satin Scindapsus. This is in a 4-inch pot for $21.99. Then down below is the Platinum Scindapsus. Another name is the Scindapsus Platinum Java. And it does have these silver-like leaves. You can see why it has this name. These are for $34.99. It's definitely a kind I don't see in many nurseries. I don't see it very often. Oh, that's a big pot. There's a lot in this. A lot of leaves to look at. That's pretty. And then down below, this Scindapsus. Wow, it's hot in here, and I don't know why I'm wearing black, but it's hot. The Mount Salic Scindapsus for $34.99. Down below, darker green leaves with a little bit of silver speckling on it. Next, we've got Hoya. So not much has changed since our last trip to the Hoya aisle at this nursery. But in case you've never seen any of my other Hoya videos at this nursery, let's do a quick rundown to see what's in stock. Over here, they've got the Hoya Mathilde. This is for $20, $19.99. It's this very small round shape leaf. I think they say it's a cross between a Hoya carnosa and Hoya superans. The splashy one to this tends to be very popular, but I find the all green version grows much better. Next is a Hoya Pot of Gold, what's left of their stock. These are for $29.99. Next is the Hoya Black Margin. These are for $29.99 as well. They've got these abs in the middle and then these black margins around the tips of the leaves, just around the outer edge of the leaf. They've got lots of the black margin. Then down below, they've got the Hoya Sunrise. My Hoya Sunrise is currently growing beautifully for me. Such a great Hoya. I love it. It doesn't look all that, but when this plant starts to sun stress and bloom and pop off, she is a beauty. She's a dream to have in my collection. Like, she's such a staple, super easy. I don't think she's the easiest when she's juvenile, but when she's established, she's good. So it's a Hoya that I would recommend getting an established version of. I've tried growing it from a cutting and it was very frustrating. This is for $20. Mine is blooming like crazy. If I let her go a little too dry, she will stop blooming, but she'll keep the peduncles because it's already so established. Obviously, if I let it go too dry, she'll drop the peduncles entirely. But yeah, I gave her a little bit more water, and last night I smelled she had a new bloom ready just in a few days. All right, and then the Hoya Fungii, this is for $24.99. I actually like the leaves on this Hoya. It has this pillow-like look to it. It reminds me of the Hoya Viola. I'm pretty sure they're probably related in some way. And then over here, the Hoya Croniana Super Silver, just what's left of them. They are selling them here for $24.99. And they only have a couple left. They brought in this Hoya some time ago. And this is the Hoya Wimanie. This is for $29.99. A really resilient plant. They don't have much left of this. And then over here, they've got the Hoya Australis with the no variegation. This is for $15. And then the Hoya Tricolor, labeled as a Wayetii Tricolor, for $19. Yeah. Just a whole lot of green on them. I wish they were more evenly variegated. And then down below, I think this is the Ficii. Potsii. Whoops. Vines are caught. Potsii for $35. Nice veins on these leaves. Very pretty. And then the Hoya crassipetiolata, one of the fastest growing Hoya. And I always forget the name on this one. It doesn't even look like a Hoya to me. It looks like reminds me of the pitcher plant. But it's a Hoya melliflua for $24.99. Lots of planes today, don't you think? Ooh. All right, so let's see what else is in stock in the greenhouse today. Again, not a whole lot, but let's see. Over here, they've got the philodendron aisle. So they've got the philodendron sunred for $29.99. Got these gorgeous fiery red leaves when they're emerging, and then they harden off to like a green color. And then the philodendron ring of fire. I remember when I was so in love with this plant, I was obsessed. And now I love it a little bit less just because of how it grows. It gets super awkward after a while. I remember when someone said that in a video and I said, I will never think that of the ring of fire. But here I am agreeing. This is for $29.99. I've heard this being called the Hoya Joepi, but it looks like the Jopii to me. This is for $19.99. It has these unique pointy like leaves. It's an unusual shape. Unusual shape. They've got the silver sword here for $9.99. The pink princess, what's left of their stock. So not a whole lot left. Again, a lot of nurseries are focusing a lot on outdoor supply right now. But this looks like something I haven't seen here before. What is it? Let's see. Can you guess what it is before we look at a label? It has an interesting variegation on it. Let's see. Variegated Bob C. Philodendron. This is for $14.99. Interesting. I need to look up what this looks like when it's mature, because I remember it being very popular, but I don't remember the variegated one being popular. All right, and then over here, oh, my fingers got some sap on it. They've got the silver striped philodendron. These are for $11.99. They've got the philodendron Micans over here for $11.99. One of my favorites. The Butte. They've got quite the selection here. I remember there was a time they had none, and now they have an overflow. They've got the philodendron lemon lime. These are for $9.99. These smaller ones in 4-inch pots. Then here they've got the all green Philodendron cordatum. This one is in a 6-inch pot. This is for $20. And then bigger sizes of the Philodendron Brazil. These are for the same price. The smaller Philodendron Brazils and the all greens. Oh no, these are the same size. These are for $20. Nice and full, eh? So pretty. Nice and full. Okay, and then more of the Micans. I think these are larger sizes. Yeah, these are for $20 and they're in 6-inch pots. I have a long vine over here. Very nice. All right, so that's it for their philodendron collection, their selection, I should say, at the moment. Okay, so over here, let's take a look at some of their succulents. And up top, they've got the Boros tail. These are for $4.99. I think these plants are so adorable, but I always knock off the leaves. And the Ripsalis, I know a lot of people love the Ripsalis. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. These are for $9.99. The Ripsalis, it's called the mistletoe cactus. Okay, and then they've got their string of bananas, string of turtles in hanging baskets. These are for $11. And then string of prills down here for $4.99. And then the string of dolphins. Oh man, I struggle with this plant so much. I just can't get it. String of beads. These are, I think, the same price, right? $4.99. Yep. And some more Borosteel over here. String of hearts. Are they for the same price? Yes, they're for $4.99. String of hearts are so pretty, aren't they? Just so pretty. All right, let's take a look at the pickle plant. You may be wondering, what am I saying? Nope, it's called the pickle plant. It's for $4.99. It has these very, are they sharp or soft? Oh, it's pubescent actually. It's not sharp at all. It looks sharp, but it's not. Oh, that's cute. These are for $4.99. And then they've got echeverias or echeverias. These are for $10, $9.99. Really cute. Pubescent. Very nice. And then they've got the jade plant. These are for $6.99. And then I think this is the orchid cactus. Look at that. Now, I'm not particularly fond of the leaves on this, but I think it's the color. I think I like the color. That's what draws me to it, but nothing else. You've got the shark fin cactus. And look at this, a baby orchid cactus. Oh my gosh, look at them. So this is what they look like before they become like long and finger-like. Is that interesting? That looks pretty cool. Wow. I love the sun stressing though. That's beautiful. I'm tempted, but I'm just worried that it'll fascinate me right now. And then in like 6 months, I'll be like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm over it, you know? So I might just have to admire it here for now. As much as I don't need any plants, I'm here to pick up a few things from my mom. Let's see, she wanted 2 of the large clear plastic pots, which are these. So I'm just gonna grab 2 for her. 2 of these plastic inner pots, we like them a lot. It's nice to be able to see roots when you're growing plants. So these are for $5.99. They've got some more clear plastic pots here. They've got some mesh pots. These are for $2.29. But again, I always want different sizes, right? And then over here is where they've got some of their fertilizers. They've got grow lights. Should I do a grow lights video? I've been getting questions about doing a grow lights video. And yeah, some of their other fertilizers and pest sprays. Stock. They've got spider plants over here. These are for $4.99. They've got some Haworthia here for $3.99. Peperomia. The Pileas are for, let's see, they are for, there's no prices on them. So I'm assuming these are for $3.99, but there's no prices on them. Then they've got some more peperomia, the red edge, the marble. Actually, this one is the marble, but this one over here is the variegated. So we've got the variegated, and this is a marble. Has a nice marbled look to it. They're for $4.99. They've got the bird's nest fern for $20 in 6-inch pots. And then some more fern here. Okay, and then over here they've got some of their prayer plants or calathea that they have left. They've got the maranta here for $7.99 in a 3.5-inch pot. They've got the snake, the lancifolia for $12.99, the orbifolia for $13, and the Heuchkeliana for $12.99. Pretty cool. They've got bromeliads here. The green eyes, this one is called, for $34. Funny, green eyes, but it's like red, for $34.99. The Grubery Ice bromeliad, that's pretty cool. Ooh, they're also for $39.99. They've got smaller ones for $20 though. That's cool. Yeah, pretty nice. Paprika bromeliad, that's a unique name. These are for $29.99. Wow. Guacamole. Who are name? It's a hungry person who's naming these plants. That's pretty cool. Little tiger. These are for $14.99. And these are in 4-inch pots. That's pretty cool. All right, and I think that is pretty much it for most of what the nursery has. Let's see. Ooh, what's this over here? Oh, these are Monsteras. For a second, I was like, are those Anthurium leaves? These are the Monstera deliciosas for $9.99. These are 4-inch. 6-inch pots are for $20. Wow, I haven't seen Monsteras in such baby sizes in a long time. They've got the Anthurium clarinervium, just one lonesome one here for $30. And the Veitchii is for the same price. If they want to rehome those at a discounted price, I'll take them, but not for $30. The Swiss cheese monstera or the Adansonii for $19. There's one that's sort of like a comeback because I haven't seen this one around in a little while. The Monstera Leclercana for $25. That's the name down here. This one was popular for a little while, and it looks like the leaves can get fenestrated a little bit. It does remind me of the Adansonii quite a bit, but with thicker leaves. The dragon tail, the Rhaphidophora decursiva for $25. Over here. Then this is what I think they got more of. They got more ZZ plants in stock. Full supply for $20 for the small ones. And let's see. Yeah, and lots of Sansevierias. Yeah, and then bigger floor plants here like the Ficus altissima. Pretty variegation. These are for $50. But let's take a peek at their last chance plants shelf. That was a mouthful. Last chance plants. Let's see if they've got anything that I want to rescue, even if I don't believe in rescuing plants. Pastizanum silver, lipstick plant, 10% off this little Hoya curtisii over here. Second chance, that's what it is. Not it is not last chance. Funny the name I gave them. Yeah, that's what they've got here. And that's it. That's what's the latest in the greenhouse. Hopefully we can get back into focusing on houseplants as much as I love outdoor plants. I mean, houseplants is why I'm here on YouTube. So I'm excited for new houseplants. And hopefully they'll be getting some more soon. And I'll take you along with me when that day comes. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna go get some soil for my mom and bring her these pots, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.